Bryan here, CEO of High Per Capita Expertise. Just wanted to take a minute and chat with you today. One of the things that I have found in my study of business owners and millionaires, in my book, The Millionaires You Went to High School With, there's one thing that all of the CEOs and the founders have in common is that they created systems within their company or harness systems where they started to um, delegate certain duties and to create specializations within their company so that they could focus on what they do best. At EOS, they call it delegating and elevating, and different systems call it different things. But in order for you as a company to do what you do best, you can't do everything. You can't be out there cutting the lawn and changing the oil and everything. One of the things at High Per Capita Expertise that we try to shoulder the burden of is really tailoring your back office support and your business process outsourcing. So whether it's accounts receivable, whether it's accounts payable, tech support, marketing, and whether it's bookkeeping. That's a huge one. So bookkeeping, accounts receivable, accounts payable, fractional controller services, for fractional CFO services. There's a lot of businesses out there where it really doesn't make sense to hire a full-time controller, much less a full-time CFO. But I can tell you from personal experience, it is amazing to have that support come in there. People asking you about this, asking you about that, having suggestions on your treasury. Why do you have X number of dollars in your account when your average daily balance, all that's needed is this, but you have this in there? To have those kind of conversations, I can tell you that at High Per Capita Expertise, my back office support is there, among other things, including my marketing. And this is something, look, I was doing my marketing for years, and some of it I really like, but some of it I just don't have the time for. And if you really want to do a good job, you're going to have to turn to a professional that can dedicate their time to it, because you should be dedicating your time to serving your clients or doing whatever you're doing, developing new products. I would say there's a lot of folks in the small to mid market area that probably try to do everything. They wear 21 hats or more in their organization. And it's time to take a look at what you can export off your plate. You, as a CEO and founder, your question should be, what is my best and highest duty to my organization? What is my best and highest function that should be fulfilling? I've even had it explained to me like this. Look, there's two buckets in front of you of where you put your time: highest and best value, or everything else. And it's not to mean that those things that are going the everything else, the lower value bucket, are low value. They're critical things that need to get done. But do they need to get done by you? Probably a lot of that, the answer is going to be no. You know, give us a call at High Per Capita Expertise. We'd love to chat with you to see where we can alleviate some of that time burden. Whether it's 5 hours here, 5 hours there, that somebody in High Per Capita Expertise could be doing on your behalf, and maybe even doing a better job. If I'm honest, the folks that are helping me there are doing a lot better job than I was doing of it. And they're fully able to dedicate and be intentional towards those goals, objectives, and tasks. I get some questions on, hey, Brady, why High Per Capita Expertise? Why Ecuador? And that's a really good question. So I had tested this out in other countries. I had tested it out in South Asia. I've tested this out in East Asia. And the things that really made it difficult to work, I would say, language barrier can sometimes be overcome. But really, the time zone for us was the most critical kind of killer in that sense, and dealing with HPCE in Quito, Ecuador. They're half a year in the Central Time Zone, half a year Eastern Time Zone, and it is so wonderful to be able to call somebody and guess what? Or Teams message them and jump on a meeting. They're right there. And they're not having to bend their schedule around and do the night shift and or anything like that. Um, their English down there is impeccable. Um, let's see, they accept the United States dollar. Um, and their universities per person down there is pretty ridiculously high, very high per capita education as well. So that's how we came up with the name High Per Capita Expertise. There's folks down there, so much experience, so much motivation and energy, just such a wonderful culture. If you ever get the chance to go down to Quito, you'll see it is a beautiful, beautiful town. It's one of the, not sure if you know this or not, but one of, I think maybe the oldest continuously existing city in South America. I think they boast that it might be 800 or 900 years old. Another interesting fact that it's about 9,000 to 10,000 feet elevation. So it's not a place where you want to get to and start doing all your exercising because your oxygen levels are going to deplete pretty quickly. But they have oxygen there that you can breathe. Just take it easy and enjoy yourself and enjoy their food and their people. Another interesting fact is they have an exact replica of Notre Dame there. I think it's 100, 120 years old or something like that. Absolutely gorgeous. There's just so many wonderful things. It really feels like you're in a very old town in Europe when you go there. But I got off track there. Wonderful, wonderful place, wonderful town, or wonderful city. Almost 3 million people in that city, so very large city. Um, I will say that Central Time Zone, they accept the United States dollar, so you don't have to do any conversions or anything like that. You can do an ACH payment, wire, do a direct wire from your account down there. You can get dedicated people down there, or you can get carved out time saying, hey, I need these 10 tasks completed every week. And that's going to be roughly, I don't know, 20 hours or so. So you can carve out, hey, here's my budget. Here's what I want to get done. And their team will analyze it for you to say, hey, here's what we can get done in that time frame, and here's the budget. And then you say, beautiful. And you don't have to worry about all the legalities of hiring somebody or anything like that. HPCE takes on that burden for you. So that's one of the wonderful, another wonderful thing about working with HPCE. So, I would say give them a call. And you can reach out to me if you'd like to connect with them down there. And I would love to make that introduction happen. But, and if you do happen to be in the area, you can always reach out and have lunch with our team down there. They'd love to have you. And that's about all I've got to say.